Teachers and parents in the auditorium, I request you to take your seats. Namaste. What a pleasure to have you all here this morning. We welcome you to this joyous occasion to commemorate an incredible milestone. 51 glorious years of the Kannada Sangha's Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao High School. A warm welcome to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and some of the students here in the audience who represent this institution's bright future. You are all here to bear witness to the journey of this inspiring institution and go back home and say, yes, I too was a part of a memorable day in its history. As we get our celebrations underway, I would like to welcome our esteemed guests for today. Mr. Basavaraj Bommai, the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, though we regret to inform you that he is unable to join us today due to exigent circumstances. Though he couldn't be here in person, he has sent us both a video message and a message by mail on this happy occasion that we shall share shortly. Our chief guest for today, Dr. S.B. Mujumdar, Founder President of the Symbiosis Society and the Chancellor of the Symbiosis International University. Mr. Suresh Kalmadi, our guest of honor, former Member of Parliament and former Minister of State for Railways and life member of the Kannada Sangha. A warm welcome to the trustees and members of the Kannada Sangha, without whose vision, leadership and farsightedness we wouldn't be here today. A warm welcome to the past and present heads and teachers of the Kannada Sangha Institutes, the parents, special invitees, and the strong alumni body of KHS. Victor Hugo once said, "There's nothing like a dream to create the future, and no force on earth can stop an idea whose time has come." For us sitting here today, that idea was a seed planted in 1971, and now 51 years later has grown into a name to be reckoned with. And how? Why 51, you ask? Well, without dwelling too much on what we all went through in the last 2 years, the 50th year celebrations had to be postponed by a year due to the restrictions in place then. But if we have learned anything from this time, it is that the combined values of adaptation, self-reliance, openness, creativity, originality, self-confidence, leaping into new experiences with an open mind, these are values that will always hold us in good stead. Values that are the cornerstone of the Kannada Sangha ethos and vital to its functioning. Any wonder then that this year and the coming years herald a whole new set of goals for us to set our sights on. I welcome you all again, and let's get this program underway. Here is the message from the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Shri Basavaraj Bommai.
ಹೊರನಾಡಿನ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರಿಗೆ ಕಳೆದ 5 ದಶಕಗಳಿಂದ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಂಘ ನಿರಂತರವಾದಂಥ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕನ್ನಡ ನುಡಿ, ಕನ್ನಡದ ಭಾಷೆ, ಕನ್ನಡದ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಯನ್ನು ದೂರದ ಪುಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎತ್ತಿಡಿಯುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಈ ಸಂಘ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಹಲವಾರು ಯುವಕರು ಪುಣೆಗೆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಅರಸಿ ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ, ಆಶ್ರಯನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. 20 ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಂದ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಈಗ 9,000 ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಬೃಹತ್ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಪಡೆಯುತ್ತಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಪುಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸಿದೆ, ಕನ್ನಡದ ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಿಸಿದೆ, ಕನ್ನಡದ ಅಭಿಮಾನಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇರು, ಎಂತಾದರೂ ಇರು, ನೀನು ಕನ್ನಡಿಗನಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಏನು ನಾಣ್ಣುಡಿ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಎತ್ತಿ ಹಿಡಿಯುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಪುಣೆಯ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಂಘ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಶ್ರೀ ರಾವ್ ಅವರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಹಲವಾರು ಜನ ಇದನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಶ್ರಮವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಹಲವಾರು ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಪುಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಗೌರವ ಬರೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಂಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಪುಣೆಯ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಂಘಕ್ಕೆ, ಕಾವೇರಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪುಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಲೆಸಿರುವ ಸಮಸ್ತ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ, ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಪೂರ್ವ ನಿಯೋಜಿತವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇರೋದರಿಂದ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ಮುಂದಿನ ಬಾರಿ ಪುಣೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಈ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ನನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು ಆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ, ಆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪದಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಂಘದ ಪದಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾರಂಭ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಲಿ ಎಂದು ನಾನು ಹಾರೈಸ್ತೇನೆ.
A translation of that message, and I quote, "It is indeed a pleasure to note that the Kaveri group of institutes Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao High School is celebrating its Golden Jubilee Year. Kannada Sangha Pune has been successfully running an educational institution for the past 50 years, which is a remarkable achievement in itself. It is phenomenal that an institute that began with mere 20 students has now gigantically grown and expanded at 3 prominent locations in Pune to cater to over 9,000 students. The efforts of Dr. K.S. Rao and other eminent personalities were instrumental in establishing a Kannada medium school outside Karnataka state, which is a feather in the cap of Kannada Sangha. The noted poet Sri Govind Pai has addressed the lines Tanu Kannada, Mana Kannada, Nudi Kannada, which mean my body, mind and speech should be Kannada, and that's why we hail the Kaveri group of institutes. As Kannadigas, creating Kannada vibes and an atmosphere wherever we go will make the Kannada language prosper. I am proud that you have demonstrated this in your actions. I am unable to make it to the Golden Jubilee function due to a pre-scheduled program. I wish success to all the Kaveri group of institutes. May the Kannada Sangha continue to flourish and save the Kannada language and culture." Quote complete. Thank you.
A very good morning and namaste to one and all. India's rich, vibrant culture is our diversity as a nation. Be it religion, art, traditions, they make us an upscale, colorful and diverse nation. Organizing cultural programs during events showcases India's one such culture. We at KHS believe that it is very important for the students to develop their latent talent. Getting an opportunity to bring forth this talent definitely brings about a lot of joy and jubilation among the students. Joyful, vibrant, rejoice, fiesta, gala, jubilee. It's celebration time. Every event seems incomplete without celebrations, and the active participation by the students definitely bring about an added flavor. Today is just the right time and the right moment for our students as we celebrate our Golden Jubilee. It is indeed a joyous and a proud moment for all of them. We now bring before you a dance and a song by the students which will enthrall each one of us. Lord Ganesh signifies the start of something positive, and Ganesh Vandana is an invocation to Lord Ganesh. This is the way we ask the Lord for his blessings. So here's presenting before you Ganesh Vandana by our students.
वातापि गणपतिं भजे हम गरे सरे ग सा नी पा ग सरे ग भूतादि संसेवित चरणं भूतादि संसेवित चरणं भूत भौतिक प्रपंच भरणं भूतादि संसेवित चरणं भूत भौतिक प्रपंच भरणं वीतरागिनं विनुतयोगिनं वीतरागिनं विनुतयोगिनं विश्वकारणं विघ्नवारणं वातापि गणपतिं भजे हं वारणा शम्बरप्रदं शिवागतापि गणपतिं भजे
India's flag is a symbol of honor, patriotism, and freedom. It represents the unity of people in terms of language and culture. Our next set of students bring forth a Kannada song that tells us about our flag rising up in the sky. The song talks about eradicating the fright of external slavery, creating bliss of joy and happiness in our minds. I'm sure that many of the alumni in the audience know the lyrics of this song, so please sing along. Thank you. As we close the curtains for a few moments till the stage is set, let us move on and enjoy some melodious renditions put forth by some of our students. Our first set of students from the secondary section are extremely delighted, excited, and feel that today is the best day of their life as they are part of the Golden Jubilee celebrations. Let us welcome our secondary students. The next group coming up will be presenting a Kannada song which tells you about the land of Karnataka. It talks about the abundantly flowing rivers, home to the rich and varied heritage of art and architecture, the richness in the field of knowledge, science, culture, and tradition. Here's presenting before you Vishwa Vinutan by the students of the primary section.
Jaya Bharati Karunada Saraswati
as the curtains open, we show you a display of the 51 years formation of the students of kindergarten to secondary school. Please take a few minutes to enjoy this video shot by a drone. May I request all our dignitaries to please come on stage along with the members of the Kannada Sangha management. Allow me to introduce everyone on the dais to our audience. Our chief guest, Dr. S.B. Mujumdar, founder president of the Symbiosis Society and the chancellor of the Symbiosis International University. Mr. Suresh Kalmadi, former member of parliament, former Minister of State for Railways, and life member of the Kannada Sangha. Representing the Kannada Sangha management, we have with us Mr. Kushal Hegde, Honorable President, Mrs. Indira Salyan, Honorable Vice President, Dr. Narayan Hegde, Honorable Vice President, Mrs. Malti Kalmadi, Honorable Secretary, Mr. Ashwin Shastri, Honorable Joint Secretary, who isn't here today, Mr. Srinivas Alva, Honorable Treasurer, Mrs. Radhika Sharma, Honorable Joint Treasurer, Advocate P. Narayan, Honorable Trustee, Dr. Chandrahas Shetty, Honorable Trustee, Dr. Balajit Shetty, Honorable Trustee, Mrs. Payal Kalmadi Bhartiya, Honorable Trustee, Dr. Shashikala Gurpur, Honorable Trustee, who isn't here with us today, Mr. Sudhakar Rao, Honorable Trustee. Mrs. Devika Shetty, Honorable Trustee, who also wasn't here today. One thing I must share with you all is that our management offers their services to all the units of the Kaveri schools and colleges without taking remuneration of any sort. This kind of selfless service is just another hallmark of the Kannada Sangha family.
Today, I have the honor of introducing someone who needs no introduction. His legend has been built and his accomplishments are too many to name. A self-made man with a positive attitude and credibility, a successful industrialist, his vision, his brilliance, his passion, his work ethic, and his refusal to say no makes him a class apart. His strength to make hard decisions and motivate those around him to achieve the impossible has taken the Kaveri group of institutes to greater heights. Let us put our hands together and invite our Honorable President of the Kannada Sangha, Mr. Kushal Hegde, to present the welcome address.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to each one of you here today. Chief guest of today's program, Dr. S.B. Muzumdar, Founder Director and Chancellor of Symbiosis International University, Kannada Sangha's life member, former MP and Railway Minister, Sri Suresh Kalmadi, special invitees, trustees, past principals, alumni, parents, staff, students, and all our well-wishers. I am indeed very privileged to formally welcome each one of you on behalf of Kannada Sangha to the Golden Jubilee celebration of Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao High School. Kannada Sangha journey in the field of education has been a long and glorious one. As President of Kannada Sangha Pune, I will briefly highlight some of our milestones of our journey from a very humble beginning to this highly reputed position. Kannada Sangha was established in the year 1952 as a cultural organization of Kannadigas presided over in Pune. In 1963, we entered the field of education when the Karnataka High School, Kannada medium, was established with the 35 students in one rented room. The aim was to provide education to poor Kannadigas who were deprived of education. Here, it is appropriate to highlight the contribution of our founder, Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao, along with Sri Gunduraj Shetty and Sri Jagannath Shetty, Sri Lakshmeshwar, Mr. Vajram, Mrs. Padma Garudachar, Mr. Ramamurthy Rao, and other members who worked tirelessly to lay the foundation of this magnificent institution. Despite financial constraints, their commitment and passionate endeavors helped to start the school in a very modest way. In the year 1972, the English medium school was started, and thereafter we never looked back. Steadily, the progress became the more and more visible. Today, we can boast of having in all 4 schools, out of which one is Kannada medium, and a junior college as well as a senior college of repute. Under the banner of Kaveri group of institutes, catering from KG to PG with 9,000 students and around 500 staff members, I can proudly say that the Kaveri group of institutes today is one of the most sought after education institutions in a city of Pune. Today, as we celebrate our Golden Jubilee celebration, I wish to express my gratitude to my fellow trustees, members of Kannada Sangha, our generous donors, and all our former and present staff members as well as principals for helping us to raise the bar of excellence. I also express my gratitude to Dr. Mujumdar and Mr. C. Suresh Kalmadi for gracing the occasion as well as sparing their valuable time. Again, I extend a warm welcome to each one of you present here, and thank you for being part of the Golden Jubilee celebration of Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao High School. Thank you very much, and thank you once again.
Thank you, Hegde sir. As always, you remain a source of inspiration, and we can only aspire to emulate your ideals. It is my pleasure to introduce our chief guest for today, Dr. S.B. Mujumdar. Professor Dr. Mujumdar is the founder president of the Symbiosis Society and the chancellor of Symbiosis International University. He received his MSc in botany and a doctorate in microbiology from the Pune University. He joined Fergusson College as professor and head of the botany department, a position he held for 20 years. He has authored a number of books and published research papers in botany in national and international journals. He has also authored several books on life sciences and contributed over 200 articles on science, education, and youth development. Dr. Mujumdar served on the Pune University's Executive Council, the Senate, and the Academic Council for 14 years. He was the chairman of the Board of Studies for Botany for 9 years. He was also ICCR's Foreign Academic Advisor in the Pune University for 7 years. He founded the Symbiosis International University in 1971, and I couldn't help notice the juxtaposition of the years, to help foreign students in Pune. A renowned academic and educationalist, Dr. Mujumdar has received many awards. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 2005, the Padma Bhushan in 2012. While the complete list of accolades is far too long to name, the notable awards he has received are the Punya Bhushan in 2009, the Maharashtra Gaurav Award, and the Phi Foundation Award. I request Mr. Hegde, President Kannada Sangha, to please welcome Dr. Mujumdar with a token of our deep gratitude for having graced this occasion. The token, as you see here, is the Puneri Pagdi. The Puneri Pagdi is a distinctive turban symbolizing the pride and honor of the cultural identity of Pune. It has been awarded the geographical identification status as the official cultural identity of Pune. Our guests also receive a shawl and the famed Tagdu Shed Ganpati idol.
Thank you, sir. It's time now for me to heartily welcome and introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Suresh Kalmadi. Mr. Suresh Kalmadi is an NDA pass out and was also commissioned as a pilot in the Indian Air Force, serving between 1964 and 1972. He also trained the NDA team from 1972 to 1974 before retiring from the Indian Air Force as a squadron leader. He later entered into politics and served as the president of the Indian Youth Congress from 1981 to 1986. Mr. Kalmadi served as the Minister of the State of Railways from 1995 to 1996. He was also elected to the 11th Lok Sabha in 1996 and to the 14th Lok Sabha in 2004. He was the member of the Rajya Sabha for 3 terms. He also served as the president of the Asian Athletics Association from 2000 to 2013. Mr. Kalmadi took over as the chairman of the Maharashtra Tourism Development Cooperation and in the year 1989 started the Pune Festival. Mr. Suresh Kalmadi also served as the president of the Indian Olympic Association from 2000 to 2013 and was named its life president in 2015. He was also a trustee of the Kannada Sangha and has played an integral role in the growth and development of the Sangha. I request our Vice President of the Kannada Sangha, Dr. Narayan Hegde, to felicitate Mr. Suresh Kalmadi. Thank you, sir. We are incredibly thankful to each one of you who accepted our invitation to grace this occasion despite your busy schedule. When we talk about women power, we find a very few who are successful. Mrs. Malti Kalmadi is one of the names for those rare lists of women who have been successful. She is a postgraduate in English from the University of Pune. She did her PG diploma in communication media, school psychology from Nyan Prabodhini. She also did her diploma in experiential education and gifted education. These courses gave her a vision to design experiences for the learners that nurture creativity for a sustainable future. She's also a core member of the Education Today, Society Tomorrow. She's also the director of Anjali Morris Foundation that works for the children with learning difficulties. She's also the founder director of Kaveri Gifted Education and Research Center. Mrs. Kalmadi has spearheaded the Mindful Parenting Program in collaboration with and funded by Greater Good Science Center at the University of California, Berkeley, USA. This program helps parents nurture generosity, gratitude, forgiveness, and related social skills in themselves and their children. We see her as a very dynamic, loving, and caring person. I would now like to invite our Honorable Secretary of the Kannada Sangha, Mrs. Malti Kalmadi, to please come forth and share her views and thoughts.
Respected President, Mr. Kushal Hegde, respected Chief Guest, Mr. Dr. Muzumdar, and our guest of honor, Mr. Suresh Kalmadi, respected trustees, dear friends, respected principals who have contributed, the past and the present principals, dear teachers, dear alumni, dear parents, dear students, and all the people who have gathered here this morning. I know it's a working day, and because the CM had given us the date, we had kept it on a working day. But then when he was not able to come, we did not want to change the date, and we kindly requested Dr. Muzumdar if he could be the chief guest. And we're very happy because I must share with you one little incident that happened this morning. As soon as the Dol Tasha was played, he looked and he said, "Why only girls?" This is what I love about educators. They notice the small things which goes into making a human being. So a round of applause for Dr. Muzumdar for being the right educator, which we love at the Kaveri group of institutes, and we recognize. And of course, Suresh is the one who said, you can build, but please see that there is place for sports. So a round of applause for him. We have tried as much as possible. I can see Rahul Deshpande laughing here because sports is something which we have not been able to really flourish. But of course, the parents have helped us in that. Now, today's celebration is a real milestone for all of us. And as we stand celebrating this milestone, because it's very easy to begin something, but to sustain it is very, very difficult. And we have seen through the years how difficult it has been to sustain for the past 60 years. And this English medium school has been sustained for more than 5 decades. And it's not an easy task. And we are celebrating that milestone that we have reached. That is one. And the second is the gratitude. Because all the hard work which our teachers, our principals have given to this organization is immense. And today I stand here on behalf of the management, the president, vice president, and treasurer, and all the other trustees. I stand here as a sign representing the management and the members of Kannada Sangha. It gives me immense pleasure and privilege to share the journey of KHS since 1971. It is said by Lao Tzu, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. For us at Kannada Sangha, this single step was by commencing the Karnataka High School, firstly an English medium, and then firstly a Kannada medium, and then an English medium. Only after 10 years of experience we had in running the Kannada medium school. Under the able leadership of Mr. Nadgir, he was our first principal. Today I requested his daughter-in-law to be here. I don't know whether she's there in the audience, but yes, she's there. Please stand up, Mrs. Nadgir. She is Sunita Nadgir, and her father-in-law was our first principal. Thank you for being here. We were all feeling that the new teachers have not seen your father-in-law. So I was praying that you would be here with us. So thank you. The founder headmaster. He was the headmaster of both the schools, the Kannada medium and the English medium school. During the preliminary years, we ran the KHS in this manner under one headmaster, as our fees and salaries were very, very minimal. Dr. K.S. Rao, my father-in-law, the main architect of this edifice, was a practicing family physician with an extraordinary personality. His charming and dynamic personality enabled him to gather a strong team of trustees like Mr. Vajram, Mr. G.M. Shetty, Mr. Jagannath Shetty, Mrs. Garudachar, Mr. Lakshmeshwar, Mr. P.M.S. Rao, Mr. Rammurthy, Mr. Shenoy, and many others who joined and supported Kannada Sangha in its educational venture. Today, the logo which you see is created by the granddaughter of Padma Garudachar, and she lives in Vancouver. So when I told her that we are looking for a logo, she immediately created this logo and sent it to us. So her name is Rohini Srinidhi. His contribution to the Kaveri group of institutes is immense, and he laid a strong foundation ingrained in compassion, dedication, selfless service, commitment, and care in every brick that was laid to build this temple of learning. Under the able guidance of Mr. Nadgir and the support of the management, the English medium section grew and began running in 2 shifts, ably supervised by Mrs. Anusuya Rao for the morning shift and Mrs. Vimla Rao for the afternoon shift. We do not have Mrs. Anusuya Rao, but I'm happy that we have Mrs. Nalini Sengupta here, because she was part of the morning shift and all her alumni know her very well. Sorry, I said Nalini Sengupta, yeah. I said she is from the morning shift, yeah. Very soon, to accommodate more children, under the chairmanship of Dr. K.S. Rao, Mr. G.M. Shetty, Mr. Kushal Hegde, Mr. Suresh Kalmadi, we were able to expand to this Ganesh Nagar premise in 1989. In our audience here today, we have a few special people like Mrs. Vimla Rao, Dr. Brahmara Satyanarayan, Mrs. Sumati Srinivasan, Mrs. Devika Nadi, and others who have contributed to our growth. Mrs. Vimla Rao has been with the organization since its inception. Her commitment to her work at KHS was immense. And Mr. Ramurthy is her husband, who was our founder trustee also. She lived quite a distance from the school, but was very disciplined, and her punctuality demonstrated her commitment to her work. Her discipline was remarkable, and her love for music and dance translated into initiating the Bal Sangeet Mahotsav, an inter-school event that has gained prominence in the cultural arena among school children in and around Pune. And one of those stars is Rahul Deshpande, who's there with us. So he is a student of Mrs. Vimla Rao from the afternoon shift, okay? This event has been enriched and taken to greater heights by Devika Nadi, Kamini Saxena, and presently by Pallavi Naik. The title has grown to encompass Bal Sangeet Evam Nritya Mahotsav and is one of the most sought after inter-school event, which is in its silver jubilee year. Dr. Satyanarayanam, Mrs. Kamini Saxena, and Mrs. Srinivasan have dedicated their lives to our institutes, taking on different leadership and executive roles that we required from time to time, even after their retirement from our institutes. Please, Brahmara, I would like you to stand there. Kamini Saxena is not there, she's in the US. Mrs. Srinivasan, I would like. She is still with us, sincere appreciation and gratitude. Today, we claim to be a learning organization. And I express my gratitude to Mrs. Devika Nadi. Please, Devika. Who was with us for 12 years. She, with the full support of the management, completely changed our institute's outlook and thinking towards education 30 years ago. I quote John Maxwell, "Growth equals change. If you want to get better, you have to keep changing and improving. That means stepping out into new areas, this became a habit with Kaveri institutes, and we grew each year in strength. We faced change with confidence and courage. Under her leadership, we incorporated many changes in pedagogy, school environment, salary structure, infrastructure, introduction of technology, and counseling units. The school steadily grew in quality under the leadership of Kamini Saxena, Mrinalini Pradhan, and Neena Rai into being learner-centric and joyful communities. This legacy is now in the safe hands of 3 academic leaders. Shilpa Kher, please stand up. Handling the pre-primary section. Jyoti Khadkol, the primary section. And Pallavi Nayak, the secondary section. The school, that is the Karnataka High School, was renamed Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao High School in memory of Dr. K.S. Rao in 1995 after his demise. This flagship school has carved a niche and name for itself with many accolades like 100% results, activities like Cyber Genius, Atal Tinkering Lab, Innovatia, Shishu Geet, Student Leadership Conference, Remedial and Counseling Center, Gifted Center for Children with High Ability and Talent, Mindful Parenting Program, Gram Setu, which is an urban-rural connect, and many more. Every year, we work on a common theme democratically chosen by our leaders. Last year, it was relationships. This year, it is Parivartan. This has helped our organization in several ways. It helps in maintaining a common concept running through each institute run by Kannada Sangha. It builds creativity amongst the units and also keeps the energy ignited. It is a learning space for all, as it is open to feedback and positive criticism. It also nurtures a sense of belonging. And at Kannada Sangha's Kaveri group of institutes, building relationships is paramount and very, very important for us. The introduction of the much needed and quality-driven national education policy of 2020, as we all know, will surely enrich and enhance the quality of education in India. However, for us at the Kaveri group of institutes, it is not at all unfamiliar, as we had already incorporated most of the methodologies, strategies, and practices. This particular school of ours, KHS, operates from 3 buildings with a strength of around 3,000 students. We can also boast of a very successful parent group, which reminds me of the pledge we were administered during Dr. Abdul Kalam's visit to our school in 2014. It was so much in sync with our thoughts, and I would like to share it. The pledge we took was, I will have a goal and work hard to achieve that goal. I realize that small aim is a crime. My national flag lies in my heart, and I will bring glory to my nation. That was the pledge we took along with Dr. Abdul Kalam in 2014. And we have not stopped there. Thus, we commenced our journey and have never looked back, especially under the leadership of our president, Mr. Kushal Hegde. I don't need to share with you about Mr. Kushal Hegde, who he is and what he is, because Pallavi Nair has explained to you. Under his dynamic leadership, we have come this far, and in fact, this auditorium where you are sitting is an example of his eye for detail and his understanding of what students need to showcase their skills and to become very good presenters. So for their presentation skills, this auditorium was built, and today you saw a sample of the cultural activities at this school. For us in this school, any child who leaves this school, we try our level best to see that that child has one art form, any art form. So we talk to our parents. One art form and one sport is very necessary in this school. Only because we feel that in this age of technology, it's going to play a very important role for that child's well-being when he grows up. So as a stress buster and to be able to handle anxiety, children have to be equipped with one art form and one sport. It is appropriate at this juncture to mention that we were one of the very few institutions to take care of our staff during the 2 years of the pandemic period, and we paid the full salary to the entire staff through these 2 years. Our president and the managing committee members said, come what may, we may be at a loss. Parents may not be able to pay, but the salaries have to go. Full salaries have to go, and we have done that. We feel very happy we've done that. As of today, we are proud to say that our institutes encompass the junior college that was started in 96, KHS Aund, which later shifted to Baner in 2018. I'm happy Lakshmi is here. Lakshmi Gandhi, thank you for being here. The Kaveri Nurturing Center in the year 2007. The Kaveri Nurturing Center is our daycare center. We specially established this center because we want our women, our girls to work. But we realized that the government has not got enough daycare centers around the city. So on a no-profit, no-loss basis, we started this center in 2007, and we cater only to our parents, our mothers, and to our staff. The Kaveri Counseling Center, of course, was started way back 30 years ago because we felt that the well-being of the child is very, very important, especially the socio-emotional well-being. So 30 years back, we started it, and I'm very happy that now we have Dr. Devasena Desai, who is specially appointed to take care of our counseling center and our remediation center. And also, she is part of the Kaveri Gifted Education and Research Center. We started this center in 2014. We realized that we are doing a lot for children with learning disabilities and difficulties. But what are we doing for the children with high ability? What have we done for Rahul? As a school, he may not have wanted to study in the class. He may have wanted to compose something. But what have we done? We have made him sit with the other children and said, no, come on, study maths, study. So we realized that with our population, with India's population, we have so much of talent. So let us start this center for the children with high ability so that we cater to their needs. When you have accommodations for children with learning disabilities, why can't we have accommodations for children with high ability? So we started the Kaveri Gifted Center, and I'm happy that our principals are now taken it up in all our schools. This year is a big test for them because till now the Kaveri Gifted Center was running it for them, but this year they are slowly learning to handle it themselves. I'm very happy because even pedagogy we'll have to work on, curriculum we have to work on, and they are doing excellent work in this area. We started the Kaveri International School in the year 2013 and the Kaveri College of Arts, Science and Commerce in the year 2005. Another important thing which we do, every Teacher's Day, the management, along with the staff, take a pledge jointly in this very auditorium. And why do we take this pledge? We take this pledge to rededicate our work and lives towards the cause of education. This practice enables us to clean the dust and cobwebs that may have blurred our purpose, our goals, our vision, and our mission. So time and again, every year, we sit down in this auditorium and we take a pledge reminding ourselves about our responsibility. Each of our institutes was started with the focus of creating the 21st century learner. There is something very interesting about the name Kaveri, and I'm happy Triveni Mathur is here. Please stand up, Triveni. The name Kaveri has a very special meaning and sentiment. As we were growing, we forgot about something called brand image, and we looked up to Symbiosis, which had a brand. So we said we have just worked without thinking about a brand, but I think we need to have something called a brand. So at that time, luckily for us, we had Triveni Mathur, and she kept on asking us. She saw the way we work, and she kept on asking the management several questions. And then she came up with so many alternatives, and then we told her that we consider education as something very sacred. And we said we would like to equate it to the river Kaveri, because this is not our, none of us own it, the management or the members. This is a trust. So we said, and it is a trust by Kannada people, by Kannada Sangha. So we said that Kaveri is a sacred river of Karnataka. And so this school will be renamed as, that is, the entire group will be named as the Kaveri Group of Institutes because of our sentiment and the way we work. Our work is very sacred, selfless, and will continue flowing to enrich the lives of people, thereby practicing and participating in nation building. I have not taken quite a few people's names here, but I know that each one of you who has come here today has come with a certain sentiment and involvement, and you have been involved with our organization for a very long time, and I thank you for being here. And as I end, I would like to take one small prayer that I always recite whenever I do any work, and all of us, the management members also, share this prayer with me. Kayena vacha manasaindriyaiva buddhyatmanava prakrite swabhavat karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. That is, whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, intellect, or by my nature, I dedicate them all to the Lord Narayana. So this is something which has been taught to us by the founders of this institute, and I'm very happy that under the leadership of Mr. Kushal Hegde, who shares the same prayer in mind, we have been able to come this far, and I'm sure that very soon we will be able to expand further. And as I end my report of the activities being held at the Kaveri Group of Institutes, especially the Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao High School, I express my sincere gratitude to the members of the managing committee for their support, and to some special people who have inspired and guided us from time to time. Firstly, Mrs. Freni Tarapur. She is here with us, an excellent educator, and I used to trouble her because I had done a course in SNDT, and I would discuss our pre-primary school and developmental needs with her. So I thank her. She's come, taken out her time, and she's come. I thank her. Another person, I don't think she's here, is Mrs. Meena Chandavarkar. Dr. Muzumdar, of course, we used to go to him to ask him, because earlier we used to only give consolidated salaries. So when we were doing the structure for our salary, we went to him. I think Mr. Kushal Hegde remembers that we went to you and we took your guidance in that. Dr. Pramod Kale, Dr. Marshalkar, who is our patron for our gifted center, Dr. Shashidhar from ISER, because of whom we have a connection with ISER, Dr. Mohanan and Tara from Think, because of whom we started inquiry and critical thinking in our institutes, Dr. Vivek Sawant, Mr. Shekhar Sahasrabuddhe, Mrs. Vrinda Ballal, Deepak Shikrapur, because CSI was actively involved with our cyber genius, Mr. Anand Kandekar. He needs a special mention. I don't know where, he said he's coming, but I don't know whether he's here. And it's Mr. Anand Kandekar who actually made us think about the underprivileged community. He said, you're having cyber genius for the schools. Why can't you have cyber genius for the underprivileged? So we trained the children from the government schools and then conducted the cyber genius. I think Devika was there at that time when we did that. So a big thanks to Mr. Anand Kandekar. And Mr. Vivek Sawant, of course, and MKCL, Dr. Ushatai Kire and Jnana Prabodhini. They are my mentors because that is the time, that is way 90s, that I realized that we are not doing anything for the children with high ability. And we started working. Initiatives of change, education today, society tomorrow. I see some of core team members here. Jyoti Kumta is there and Lakshmi Kumar from Orchid School is here. Kalmadi family and dear friends, donors who have supported us, and Mr. Rahul Rati, I don't know whether he's here. I saw him coming. Yeah, he's here. Thank you, Rahul, for being there. Because of him, we got a connection with Massachusetts Institute of Technology way back, almost 30 years back. And thanks to you, Rahul, I remember us going to Baba and to Arun Firodia, going and asking them to sponsor the program. If it had not for you, that would have never happened. Thank you very much. The entire staff, both past and present, big round of applause to all of you. Our alumni, big round of applause to you. I know that we have, from the first batch, we have some children who have passed out from our schools, and we have some of the children who still have their some of our alumni who still have their children in our schools. Our dear parents, for trusting us. A round of applause for the parents. I know we could not call everybody, but all the parents who are here, a big round of applause to you for having faith in us, because we were very, very small. But if it were not for your trust and your support, we could never have grown this way. And our students, we have a few students here. Thank you for being who you are. I thank you, each one of you, for being here this morning and helping us grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for such inspiring words. My gratitude to you for sharing your opinions and thoughts with all of us today. The day would seem incomplete if we miss out hearing some inspiring words from our esteemed guest of honor. So I grab this opportunity and request and invite Mr. Suresh Kalmadi to please share a few words with us.
Well, you heard whatever was said about me. But one thing I noticed, they didn't thank you all. Because I've been member of parliament for 32 years. And I'm sure most of you must have supported me. And in my life, I've done a lot for sports. Especially, you must have known in Pune, the Balewadi Sports Complex. At the Commonwealth Games in Pune, youth games, and the main games were held in Delhi. So that was the highlight of my sports business. I think I should start my speech now. We have speech our Baslele, Dr. Majumdar, Mr. Kushal Hegde, Malti Kalmadi, Nayan Hegde, Mrs. Indra Salayan, Mr. Alwa, and other dignitaries, trustees on the stage. Our school family of teachers, parents, students, and alumni. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Dussehra and Diwali to all of you. This is a great day for us. As it is our Golden Jubilee. Dr. Majumdar, you know the challenges to start a school, college, etc., which we have gone through. The school was started by my dear father, Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao, on a request to start a school this side of town by the late Mr. Nadgir, who was founder principal. My father, Dr. Shamarao, always eager to help along with his friends, the late Mr. Kunraj Shetty, late Jagannath Shetty, late Somsekar Rao, late Mrs. Gardachar, late Mr. Lakshmeshwar, Mr. Rammurthy, and Mr. Vajram, and many others collected funds to acquire land for the school at Erundavane. From first day onwards itself, there was no looking back. Dr. Shamarao treated the school as his fifth son. You'd go to school early in the morning at 7 a.m. and later to his clinic. The second school was started in Ganesh Nagar. The inauguration was done by the CM of Karnataka, late Sri Ramakrishna Hegde. The Maharashtra government has helped tremendously by giving a few acres of land for the school at Loegaon. I thank the government of Maharashtra. Now today the school stands very tall in the academic sector with able guidance from Kushal Hegde, Malti Kalmadi, MP Narayan, Mr. Alwa, and all the trustees, and the selfless work with the staff of the school. Please give a big hand for this very, very deserving team. Parents, the school also needs your support and encouragement. I wish all success and higher aims for the school and school program. And as we march towards our Diamond Jubilee, and all the past students who are here, I would like to congratulate you all. You have done excellent job in whatever profession you are and made the school very proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You've already given us a goal to look forward to, the Diamond Jubilee. We hope to see most of you there then. We will be beginning with the felicitation of the principals. In a 1600 letter to fellow scientist Robert Hooke, Isaac Newton wrote, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." If a genius like Sir Newton alluded to the fact that there were many people before him whose contributions helped him build his theories, and that by standing on their shoulders was a necessary part of being a trailblazer, we, on the same lines, acknowledge the contributions of our leaders, the current principals of the 3 units of Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao High School, while accepting and honoring the path laid by all those principals who came before them. May I request the chief guest, Dr. Mujumdar, to kindly felicitate the past principals. We shall begin by honoring our past leaders. Not only did they leave behind a peerless legacy for others to emulate, they also have continued to maintain a cherished bond with the institution even after retirement. Even today, they're just a phone call away and share in the pride and joy of our collective achievements. First, may I call upon Mrs. Vimla Rao. Mrs. Rao was a former principal who had joined as a second grade teacher in 1976 and rose through the ranks to retire as principal in 1997. She has a legacy of being a strict disciplinarian that is only matched by her equally empathetic side that saw and extracted the best from teachers and students alike. The best moments usually occur when a person's body or mind is stretched to its limits in a voluntary effort to accomplish something difficult and worthwhile. These words of famous psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi best describe the attitude and mindset of Mrs. Devika Nadig. Mrs. Nadig joined as the principal of KHS pre-primary and primary schools in 1992 and later the Ounce section in 1997. She took over as the academic director of all the schools from 92 to 2004. A dynamic visionary with many initiatives to her name, Mrs. Nadig has always been passionate about developing teachers' professional capacities. She heads Shikshangan, a center for educational initiatives focusing on capacity building initiatives for all stakeholders in the educational milieu. Dr. Mrs. Pramara Satyanarayan. Dr. Satyanarayan joined Karnataka High School as it was known then in 1981 as a science teacher and retired as a vice principal in 2004. She has a PhD in zoology from Meerut University. She worked in the capacity of an advisor to the junior college and caretaker of the senior college till 2007. She continues her association with the institute even after retirement. Her attention to detail and meticulous execution, along with being a mentor and a mother figure to many, are the stuff of legend, as vouched for by everyone who worked with her. Thank you for being here today, ma'am. Soft-spoken, gracious, self-effacing, upright, and steadfast in her commitment to the KHS family, I now call upon our next leader, and very aptly described, Mrs. Sumati Srinivasan. Mrs. Srinivasan has been with the KHS family for over 30 years now. She has an MA in English Literature from the Central University. From 1989 to 2004, she was with the secondary section. From 2004 to 19, she was the junior college principal, after which she became the advisor to the junior college and then joined the Kannada Sangha as admin head. We would also like to applaud another former principal, Mrs. Kamini Saxena. She was with the Kaveri group of institutes for 32 years, serving in different capacities as a science teacher, supervisor, and then principal and management facilitator. She was an extremely popular science teacher and a dynamic leader who brought out the best in all the stakeholders in the school environment, from the teachers, the students, the parents, and the non-teaching staff. Mrs. Saxena couldn't be with us here today as she's currently out of the country. Thank you all. May I request now Mr. Suresh Kalmadi to please felicitate the current principals of the 3 units. We begin with the pre-primary section. A deep debt of gratitude to the former principal, Mrs. Neena Rai. She was the principal from 2001 to 2013 and was a mother figure to the tiny tots as they entered formal education for the first time. She was incredibly passionate about making preschool a vibrant and joyful experience for the little ones. Today, the current principal is Mrs. Shilpa Kher. Mrs. Shilpa Kher is the principal of Dr. Kalmadi Shamarao High School pre-primary section. An enthusiastic educator, she is passionate about working with the preschool children. She has a degree in early childhood education from SNDT University, as well as a degree in liberal studies from Sacramento State University, California. She's been working as a principal for the last 10 years, prior to which she was a kindergarten teacher for many years. Mrs. Kher believes that preschool should provide a safe learning environment where children experience joy, an excellent academic foundation that teaches them to be lifelong learners and critically thinking citizens. Moving on to our primary section, a big thank you to the many passionate educators who helmed the primary section. Among them being Mr. Sheshagiri Rao, Mrs. Devika Nadig, Mrs. Mrinalini Pradhan, and Mrs. Kamini Saxena. Today, the primary school is headed by Mrs. Jyoti Kadkol. Mrs. Kadkol is an educator by passion, an artist at heart, and an innovator to the core. After working with research and education at Exploratory, she has been leading the primary section of KHS for the past 7 years. She firmly believes in the Indian ethos and innovative approaches to education. She is one of the 27 outstanding educators adjudged by the Space Foundation Colorado to join its teacher liaison program. She's also presented papers at the national and international levels. Recently, Mrs. Kadkol was adjudged as the ideal principal by the Teachers Democratic Federation of Maharashtra State. She has initiated programs like Innovatia, Innovative Teaching Practices, Action Research, and Swaravigyan for primary school. And finally, the secondary school here at Ganesh Nagar. Suffice it to say that the people who have led this institute have all been trailblazers in their own way. Our deepest gratitude and regards to the former principals, Mrs. Vimla Rao, Mrs. Devika Nadik, and Mrs. Kamini Saxena. The current principal leading the organization is Mrs. Pallavi Naik. Mrs. Naik has been with the Kaveri schools for 30 years. She began her career with the pre-primary school before moving on to the primary school. She joined KHS own school as the principal for 12 years and then moved to KHS Ganesh Nagar as the principal in 2015. She has taught a wide spectrum of students from kindergarten to grade 10. Mrs. Naik is a Fulbright scholar and a master trainer for British Council and the Government of Maharashtra's Ellis program, and also a teacher educator. She has presented at national and international conferences. Incredibly passionate about making learning a joyful experience for every student, she has spearheaded a list of initiatives that drive the wholesome learning experience for every student in the secondary school. Thank you, sir. And now, our alumni. Where haven't they spread? Our alumni are in every corner of the world making a name for themselves in their respective careers. Whether it's the field of acting, where we have Amrita Khanvilkar, Aroha Velankar, Ketki Mategaonkar, and Rupali Bhave, another alumnus, who is collaborating with Sanjana Kapoor to build Indian theatre in collaboration with her outfit Jacaranda, just to name a few. Or the rigor associated with the field of sports, where we have Dr. Kaustubh Radkar, the only Indian and an alumnus of KHS to finish 32 Ironman races worldwide, the only Indian to have finished it on all 6 continents, to have finished for 2 world championships and now has qualified for the 3rd. We have Laukik Jadhav, a celebrity fitness expert and a professional football player, having played for Mohan Bagan, Mahindra United, and Air India, among other teams. Pranav Vagle, a professional basketball player playing for a club in Barcelona in Spain. To the discipline field and the rigor of medicine, where we have Dr. Aditya Sandorkar, a transplant infectious disease specialist, Dr. Milind Fadke, an interventional cardiologist from Mumbai, Dr. Sudha Srinivasan, an assistant professor in the Department of Kinesiology at the University of Connecticut, just to name a few. We have engineers placed at LinkedIn, Google, Apple, Deloitte Consulting, Accenture, the list is endless. One of those outstanding students is Praful Dhariwal, a graduate of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, now a research scientist with OpenAI in California. We have architects, Akanksha Wakare, Dhruvang Hingmire, who are shaping the urban landscape. Or Tapan Kane, serving as an officer in the Indian Navy. Or let's just take the field of music. That list is long. We are proud to count among our illustrious alumni our former students like Shakir Khan, Rohit Mujumdar, Pushkar Lele, and Rahul Deshpande. To honor our past students and the work they have done to bring laurels to our name, we would like to felicitate one of the most visible ex-students of KHS as a representative of the entire alumni family, Mr. Rahul Deshpande. Rahul Deshpande is a well-known classical singer and the grandson of Pandit Vasantrao Deshpande. He is the recipient of the recent 68th National Award for the Best Playback Singer for Me Vasantrao, a biopic on his grandfather and the events that shaped their life. Rahul Deshpande studied under various gurus. He arranges the Vasantotsav every year in memory of his late grandfather, Pandit Vasantrao Deshpande. He's a very versatile singer, and one of his most talked about performances was as the voice of Khan Saab Aftab Hussain Bareli Wale, played by Sachin Pilgaonkar in the film Katiyar Karzat Ghusli. Rahul has also adjudged the popular reality TV show on Zee Marathi, Saregamapa Little Champs, and Zee Yuva's Sangeet Samrat Parva. It is now time for us to hear a few words from our chief guest. I now request Dr. Mujumdar to please share a few words with all of us.
Namaste to all of you. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurmedeva, Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada. The president of Kalmadi High School, Kushal Hegde, Vice President Indira Salian, Narayan Hegde, Mrs. Malti Kalmadi, who seems to be the spirit of Kalmadi High School. And the person whom I always respect for his courage and toughness and love for sports, Surajji Kalmadi, Meera Bhabhi, teachers, principals, retired principals, students and alumni, well-wishers, and all the trustees sitting on the dais. Maltiji, when we were reading the report of the school, I was really touched not by the academic performance, touched not by your achievements in other fields, but your attitude of gratitude. The way you thanked the founders, the professors, the alumni, and you felicitated past principals is something which is not to be seen in any other educational institution. And believe me, I have visited so many such institutions. Friends, I am very happy that I am addressing you on this very auspicious occasion of Golden Jubilee of Dr. Shamarao Kalmadi High School. I don't believe in astrology, but sometimes I do believe. Because few days back, Malti, I read, there is a column of Rashi Bhavish in newspaper. And one of the newspapers said that I am likely to get some honor. I said, what honor? But then today I realized that that astrologer of that newspaper must be very correct. Because the person who was supposed to be the chief guest has not come. And the person who was supposed to be just a guest of honor has become honorable chief guest. Be that as it may, I congratulate President, trustees, and all those teachers, principals, students, well-wishers, and especially our President Kushal Hegde for bringing up this institution. I have some connection with this institution. When I used to be a postgraduate student at University of Pune, way back in 58, 59, I used to visit Dr. Shamarao Kalmadi. And in those days, on Ferguson College Road itself, there used to be at least 3-4 family doctors. And as a student, I used to go to him as a patient. And the way he used to talk to me, the way he used to treat me, and the way sometimes he used to scold me was really very enticing. And therefore you have done a good thing that you have named the school after Dr. Shamarao Kalmadi School. I wish this school a great success. You already started kindergarten, primary, secondary, junior college, senior college. And I wish that a day will come when we will be private University of Maharashtra. It's not difficult. Our government nowadays has become very liberal. Be that as it may, I must tell one thing about Suresh Kalmadi, without which I just can't finish my speech. If the posterity is going to remember Suresh Kalmadi for one thing that he has done, and he has done so many good things for Pune, that one thing is the Chhatrapati Shivaji Kannada Sangha in Pune. And he had associated that to, he had associated me with small committees which he had formed that time. And you imagine 250 acres of land which has been converted into a beautiful sports complex. And I'm really very happy. And it was really my desire. And I told this to not only Kalmadi ji, but even Sharad Pawar, that a day should come when that sports complex should be a sports university of Pune. And you will be happy to know that last year the government has taken a decision to transform that whole Shivaji complex into Chhatrapati Shivaji International Sports University. But as it happens, still no vice chancellor has been appointed. No sports department has been started. No sports school or course has been framed. But let us hope that the dream of Suresh Kalmadi ji will be there in reality. And Suresh Kalmadi will be known in the history of the city for his contribution to that particular sports university of our country. What should I say on such an occasion? Having spent some 50, 60 years in education, I have an abiding faith that teacher is the most important person of any society. Why? Because he teaches in the classroom. And the country's destiny, the country's future is shaped not in parliament, not in assembly, not in corporations and municipalities. The country's future is shaped in classrooms of the schools. And therefore the teacher is the most important person of the society. And teacher can change the world. Because it is the job of a teacher to mold the students right from kindergarten to primary to secondary. And if you ask me one question, which category of education is the most important, I will say kindergarten and primary school education. Because it is during this period that teacher can mold the personalities of children. Teacher can create leaders and talented persons and artists and poets and whatnot. And therefore, howsoever great you may be, you will never forget your teacher in the primary school. You may forget professors like me in colleges. Nobody bothers about them. But a primary teacher, a secondary teacher, a kindergarten teacher is the most important because he is the one who contributes to the destiny of the country. And I will tell you a very fine illustration. When C.D. Deshmukh, a brilliant student, an ICS, the first governor of Reserve Bank of India and the first finance minister of our country, became the finance minister, before he sat on the minister's chair, he came all the way to Maharashtra and went to Mahad. And then from Mahad to that small village, and he bored his old primary school teacher. And only then he took the charge of finance ministership. Why talk about C.D. Deshmukh? Even our own Prakash Javadekar, when he was made HRD minister, before he took the charge of ministership, he came to Pune. And he first took the blessings of his teachers. And therefore you will find that howsoever one person may become great, next to his mother and father, he will always remember his teacher in the school. And therefore what you have been doing is something of great national importance. But the problem is, teachers themselves don't understand how important they are. They themselves don't understand that without them, nation has no future. They themselves feel that teaching is something which is low profession, underpaid profession. And teacher is somebody whom anybody takes for granted. Yes, government is responsible, society is responsible. But I feel sorry when teachers themselves feel that they are of no great importance. They cannot be VIPs. They cannot be very important persons. And therefore, whenever I go to give a lecture to the colleges or schools, I always request our teachers to stand up. And therefore, I am going to do that today those who are teachers should please stand up. And please repeat what I am saying. I am proud to be a teacher. Please say, I am proud to be a teacher. I am proud to be a teacher. I am proud to be a teacher. Thank you. Once an American said that America is rich because its roads are good. No khaddas. Somehow his statement went to the President of the United States of America, John F. Kennedy. And Kennedy said that it is not so. It is not because roads are good that America is rich. America is rich because roads are good. I go still further. America is prosperous. America is rich. America is the most strong country in the world because it has very good schools, very good universities, Ivy League universities like Stanford, Harvard, MIT. In one university you can find 3-4 Nobel laureates. You know why? Because the government of America is not bothered about how you teach in the classroom, how much you are paid. Total autonomy to the universities and colleges and schools. Whereas this is the case in almost all developed countries in the world. I am really sorry that in our country there are regulations which are strangulates us. Everything is dictated by University Grant Commission and AICT and whatnot. Every professional course has a council. So, personally, having spent many years in education, I feel that only those countries are prosperous who bother about quality education and quality health. Do you know our government, in spite of the fact that many prime ministers announce that our government will spend at least 6% of GDP on education, still the total education amount is just 3.5%. And how much on health? Just 1.5% of GDP. And we are thinking that India will become superpower. India will never become superpower or developed unless we care about quality education and quality health. And government, whatever good quality education institutions have come up in India, they have come up in spite of government. For example, Kaveri group of institutions. Dr. Shamarao Kalmadi High School, whose Golden Jubilee we are celebrating, it has come in spite of government. Malti, when you are reading the report, I was very happy that your school is implementing many of the recommendations which have already been, you are implementing some recommendations which are there in National Education Policy. Every student has to learn at least 1 hour. Every student has to play one sport. This is what national education policy says. And therefore, let us remember that teacher can change the world. Teacher can create the wonderful society. You must have heard about Malala, a Muslim girl who received Nobel Prize at the age of 17, 18. And she was shot in Pakistan only because she was going to school. She went to England, operated. Now she has given a beautiful statement. And what is that? That girl says that one child, one teacher, one pen, and one book can change the world. And this is precisely what you have been doing, Malti, in this school. I was pleasantly surprised when Rahul Deshpande was felicitated. This is your best contribution to our country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am really, really happy that you have given me an opportunity to see this wonderful function. Malti, your school made my day today. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. God bless you. And as I told you, in the next few years, let Kaveri group of institutions think of having a university of its own. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Muzumdar. In fact, now the work remains with Mr. Kushal Hegde. That is his. He must be already thinking about it. So my role comes after Mr. Kushal Hegde plans. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Muzumdar, for honoring the contribution of the teachers, for making us all stand up and say that we are proud to be a teacher. Thank you for articulating the goal of us becoming a university. As Malti ma'am said, our efforts have to be redoubled. And your words have given us a new vigor and resolve. So thank you very, very much. It is my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks as we come to the end of this program. Organizing a program of this magnitude is in no small measure to the tireless efforts of people behind the scenes. Saying thank you is but a small gesture to honor their inputs. A huge, huge debt of gratitude to Mr. B.K. Patil for coordinating the CM's visit to our school. He has been an incredible support throughout. Mr. Patil, may I request you to please stand up? Thank you to all the members of the Kannada Sangha. A big thank you to our special guests and invitees. You took time out on a weekday to grace this occasion. We couldn't be more honored. Thank you to the police force at Alankar Police Chowki and the Kothru Traffic Depot for managing the security and traffic. A special thank you to Mr. Vinod Surve, PA to Mr. Suresh Kalmadi, and Mr. Shrikant Kamble for the bandobast arrangements. Our thank yous are due to Mr. Deodhar for the refreshments, Mr. Samir Ugle for all the accessory arrangements, for Mr. Tushar Joshi of 100% publicity for the media and publicity. For all those of you who have helped us directly or indirectly in assisting with the program, our deepest, deepest gratitude. Thank you all here for being here today and sharing in our joy. It's been a pleasure having you all here. Good afternoon. I would request all of you to please rise for the Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram, Vande
सस्यश्यामला मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं शुभ्रजोत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी फुल्लकुसुमिता द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्
I request you all to please wait a few minutes while our dignitaries leave the auditorium. Student council members, please take your positions and guide the parents out from the last two exits. Thank you.